Let's not sugarcoat it. Cheating doesn't just fall from the sky. No one wakes up and thinks, "Today feels like a great day to sabotage everything I built." It doesn't start with a kiss. It starts with a shift, a moment so subtle, you won't even notice it. A text left unanswered. A hug that lands cold. A glance that avoids yours. Little things. Things you excuse away. She's tired. She's stressed. She just needs space. But you feel it. Something's not right. And the more you ignore it, the louder the silence becomes. At first, life keeps you distracted. Bills, deadlines, routines. You tell yourself you're imagining it. But by the time you face it, the roof has already caved in. The laughter's gone. The messages are dry. The woman you once knew is right in front of you, but she's already gone. Here's the truth. No one tells you a woman never cheats without signs. It's not clean. It's not cute. And it never happens without leaving cracks in the foundation. The signs were always there. You just didn't want to see them. You told yourself she was just busy. You tried to be patient. You didn't want to accuse her, because deep down, you were afraid the truth might break you. But brother, you already knew. Your gut told you. Your instincts whispered. You just didn't have the words. So if you've ever laid awake at 2 a.m., staring at the ceiling, wondering why she feels so far away, this one's for you. Because today, we stop brushing signs under the rug. We stop second-guessing ourselves. Today, we walk into clarity, not confusion. We follow the trail she left behind, so you never miss it again. If this already hits home, drop a comment and let me know. And if you're tired of lies and ready for the truth, hit that subscribe button. Let's begin. Sign 1. Her attention shifts. It doesn't come with a scream. It doesn't break the room like a slammed door. It whispers. It fades. And if you're not paying attention, you'll miss it. But something inside you catches it. Not with logic, but with instinct. One day, she's lighting up. When you walk through the door, she's asking about your day, reaching for your hand, just because, laughing at the story she's already heard 5 times, and then one day, she's there. But something about her isn't. She's looking through you, not at you. Your presence used to soften her expression. Now it doesn't even flicker. You mention your big meeting. She nods, but it doesn't land. She forgets your mom's name. She forgets that you're allergic to shellfish. She forgets details. But worst of all, she forgets how to care. You bring it up gently. Hey, have you felt a little distant lately? And there it is. That deflection. You're just overthinking. I've been tired. You're acting insecure. But deep down, you know better. Because women don't just detach without a reason. They don't stop being emotionally present unless something has changed. Here's the part most men miss. When her emotional energy begins to pull away, it's already being invested elsewhere. Maybe it's another man. Maybe it's the fantasy of freedom. Maybe it's the growing desire to be untouched and unbothered. But whatever it is, it's not you. And that right there, that's the first fracture. The first crack in the wall before anything physical ever happens. Emotional betrayal always comes first. And it never announces itself with fireworks. It arrives in silence, camouflaged in routine, masked by politeness. So if you're feeling confused, if something feels off, but she says, everything's fine, don't argue with your gut. Men are taught to be rational, to seek evidence, to wait for proof. But brother, some truths are felt, not proven. If your heart is picking up what your mind is trying to explain away, listen to it. It's not weakness, it's awareness. And don't let her guilt trip you into silence. When her focus shifts, when her eyes lose that spark, she's already started leaving. Not physically, but spiritually. You'll feel it in the space between her words, in how much she shares, in how often she looks at you or doesn't. That's not paranoia. That's reality, unfolding in slow motion. If this resonates with you, drop a comment. You're not alone. And if you're done ignoring the quiet signs, subscribe, because on this channel, we face truth, not fantasy. Let's keep going. Sign 2, she starts, hiding the small stuff. Infidelity doesn't begin between the sheets. That's just the part people see. But what no one tells you is that the betrayal starts earlier, quieter. And more deceptively, it doesn't begin with a hotel room or late-night texts. It begins when the words stop flowing. When the small stories, the insignificant ones, dry up, the details that once felt pointless to her, but precious to you, suddenly go missing. She used to tell you everything, what her coworker said, how the coffee was burnt at her favorite cafe, how the neighbor's cat got stuck in a tree. You used to smile through the mundane because it meant you were inside her world. You weren't just the man she lived with, you were the man she narrated her life to. But now, it's just long day. Then she disappears into another room. No follow-up, no color, no context, just distance. You don't notice it right away, because everyone has off days, and she's still polite, still functioning, still present. But deep down, something's gone quiet. Not in volume, in connection. The silence isn't just in her words, it's in her energy. It's in how she smiles without softness. It's in how she listens without hearing. Then, there's her phone. Used to be face up, unlocked, buzzing away on the kitchen counter. She'd hand it to you to read a meme or check directions. Nothing to hide. Now it's glued to her hand. Screen down, locked with a new passcode. Even when she showers, it's nearby like it's made of oxygen. You mention it casually. She snaps. Why are you being so controlling? Just like that. The script flips. You become the villain. You're accused of insecurity, jealousy, paranoia, all because you noticed what changed. But let's not pretend you don't see it. She's building a wall, brick by brick, dividing her emotional life into 2 compartments. One, you still have access to. The other, you were silently locked out of. And here's the harsh truth. Most men don't want to face. A woman doesn't need to leave the house to leave you. Sometimes, she stays, but takes all the important pieces with her. Her laughter, her warmth, her honesty, her presence. Her body might still be in the room, but her soul has started packing. She becomes a master of illusion. She smiles, makes small talk, plays her part, but it's all surface. She's pulling your attention toward what looks normal, so you won't notice what's vanishing underneath. It's a distraction play. One hand waves in front of you, everything's fine. The other is tucking away secrets you'll never be allowed to question. This is emotional misdirection. A slow, quiet performance designed to make you doubt yourself. Not with lies, but with absence, with evasiveness, with silence. You'll start to wonder, am I crazy? Am I being dramatic? Am I too sensitive? No, you're not. You're witnessing the erosion of trust in real time. Because when a woman starts hiding the little things, it's not about the details themselves. It's about the doors she's closing and the walls she's raising. She stops offering her daily life because she no longer wants you in it. She stops sharing her routine because she's mentally testing how life feels without your voice in the background. And worst of all, she still gives you just enough to keep you hopeful, just enough to keep you guessing. She'll laugh at your joke once in a while. She'll initiate a kiss when you least expect it. She'll make plans with you, then seem distant the entire time. It's a performance of closeness, not the reality of it. You'll feel like something is missing, but you won't be able to name it. That's by design. Because while you're hoping to rebuild, she's rehearsing for a life that no longer includes you. She won't announce it. She won't explain it. She'll just slowly vanish until you wake up beside someone who's already emotionally gone. Sign 3. Intimacy vanishes or mutates. There's a certain silence that creeps into the bedroom long before anyone speaks it out loud. And when a woman begins to emotionally detach, this is often where it shows up first. Not in the arguments, not in the schedules, but in the space between your bodies. Real intimacy, not just sex. But true emotional closeness is built on trust, vulnerability, and the quiet comfort of being known. But when she starts slipping away, that closeness either vanishes or it shifts into something you can't quite recognize. Sometimes the change feels cold. She pulls back physically. She seems uninterested in touch. Like it takes effort for her to lean into you. The spark that once came naturally now flickers. If it comes at all, your arms no longer feel like home to her. Your breath on her skin doesn't settle her anymore. It startles. It's subtle at first. She still smiles. She still goes through the motions. But there's a hollow to it. A lifelessness that wasn't there before. And suddenly, even lying beside her feels like being alone. Other times, the change swings in the opposite direction. Suddenly, she's intense, overly affectionate, more experimental. She brings new energy to the bedroom, new moves, new boldness, a fire that doesn't match the emotional climate between you. And instead of excitement, you feel confusion, because in the back of your mind, a question begins to echo. Where is this coming from? Who is this really for? That's when the walls start shaking. Because whether she's gone distant or too close too fast, the outcome is the same. Your connection isn't real anymore. It's distorted, either buried under withdrawal or masked by performance. You try to rationalize it. Maybe she's just tired. Maybe she's exploring. Maybe she's stressed and trying to reconnect. But something in your gut tells you the truth. She's not present, not truly. You see, intimacy has a currency. It's not unlimited. It's something you give. And when given to one person fully, it's hard to give anywhere else. But when that currency is split, when it starts getting invested outside your bond, what's left with you either dries up or becomes a cover-up. That's when sex becomes three things: a task to keep the peace, a performance to cover her absence, or a quiet apology for guilt. She'll never confess. She may still reach for you, but it won't be out of connection. It'll be out of habit, out of fear, or out of obligation. And worst of all, you'll feel it. Not during, but after. When she rolls over like you're just air beside her. When the silence after is louder than anything said. When closeness leaves you lonelier than distance ever did. It's like kissing someone through glass. You're there. You're touching. You're breathing together, but the space between is no longer closeness. It's absence in disguise. This isn't a phase. This isn't stress. This isn't just life getting busy. This is emotional departure. And what's cruelest about it is that it leaves you guessing, wondering what you did wrong, blaming yourself for the emptiness, questioning your worth for someone who's already made the silent decision to emotionally check out. Her body might still lie beside you, but her spirit is somewhere else. Her thoughts are no longer echoing yours. She's writing a new story, and you're no longer in the chapter. That's why it feels like something's missing, because something is the truth. And even though she may still go through the rituals of closeness, a kiss goodbye, a hand on your chest, a shared bed, you'll feel the hollowness under every touch. Because when intimacy becomes distant, distorted, or dangerously intense, it's not always about what you see. It's about what you no longer feel. It's about what she's not saying. It's about what's gone quiet between the lines. And for a man who's paying attention, that's all the proof he needs. Sign 4: she stops including you in her future plans. It doesn't always start with a goodbye. Sometimes it starts with silence, with future plans that no longer have your name in them. There's no explosion, no dramatic fight, no teary confession, just a slow and quiet unraveling like fog, creeping into a room until you can't remember what the sunlight used to feel like. You used to talk about shared vacations. We should go to Greece next summer. Now it's become, I've always wanted to travel more. No more we, just I. You'd hear her say, when we find a place together. But lately, it's, I've been thinking about moving closer to work. And it's not just the words that cut. It's the energy, the tone that doesn't rise, the lack of excitement when she speaks. She used to light up when you discussed your shared goals. Now she speaks of growth, of change, but you're no longer part of the equation. It's subtle, so subtle that you might miss it if you're not paying attention. You brush it off as stress, as independence, as her needing space. But deep down, something shifts inside you. You feel it like a chair being pulled out from under you while you're still smiling. She talks about needing time now, needing clarity, needing to find herself. But she doesn't say with you. She says it like you were never meant to be in that journey to begin with. I need time. I need space. I need to figure things out. And when you ask the question that's been burning in your chest, where do I fit into this? She looks at you as if you just asked something absurd. As if the thought of including you never even crossed her mind. That's when the truth hits. Not like a punch, but like an echo you can't ignore anymore. She's already rewritten the script. You're just holding on to a version of the story that no longer exists. It's why the air between you feels heavy. It's why you sit next to her but feel miles away. It's why her eyes don't search for yours like they used to. She's still here physically, but emotionally, she's already packed and gone. She's walking toward a future that doesn't have your fingerprints on it. And you're left clinging to ghost plans, to promises made in a different emotional season. You're standing at the doorway of a relationship where she's already halfway down the street and you're just now realizing you were never invited to follow. That's why everything feels like limbo, like waiting for a message that never comes, like sleeping next to someone whose soul already moved out. And this is where most men make the mistake. They beg, they promise change. They try to win her back with better versions of themselves, not realizing she's not evaluating you anymore. She's already made the decision. You're not in her future plans because she's already planning a future without you. And I know it hurts. It hurts because the breakup hasn't happened yet. Not officially. But the emotional detachment is already done. You're waiting for an ending that she's already accepted. You're still hoping for a we while she's already building her next me. But brother, Don't chase. Don't bargain with silence. Don't try to revive a relationship when you're the only one still breathing life into it. Because if she had to lose herself to find herself, and that path didn't include you, then she was never truly yours to begin with. Let her go with grace. Let her rewrite her story. And you write a new one for yourself, one that doesn't beg to be included, but demands to be respected. The bigger truth: cheating as a process. The deeper truth is, this cheating doesn't strike out of nowhere. It unfolds gradually, like a quiet unraveling of trust. A woman doesn't betray you the moment she's with another man. The betrayal starts when she turns away from you emotionally and silently decides not to return. It begins in small, quiet moments. When she stops leaning in during conversations, when she rolls to the other side of the bed at night, when she makes plans and you're no longer part of them, when she starts searching for more, without ever telling you she no longer values what you built. You'll feel it before you can name it. But recognizing it takes courage. Walking away takes strength. And here's the tough truth. The moment you allow someone to cross your boundaries and stay, you teach them they can do it again. So what now? You stay alert. You stay rooted in your sense of worth. You trust the instincts whispering what your eyes don't want to see. And most importantly, you don't chase someone who had to lose you just to find themselves. The bigger truth: cheating as a process. The deeper truth is, this cheating doesn't strike out of nowhere. It unfolds gradually, like a quiet unraveling of trust. A woman doesn't betray you the moment she's with another man. The betrayal starts when she turns away from you emotionally and silently decides not to return. It begins in small, quiet moments. When she stops leaning in during conversations, when she rolls to the other side of the bed at night, when she makes plans and you're no longer part of them, when she starts searching for more without ever telling you she no longer values what you built. You'll feel it before you can name it. But recognizing it takes courage. Walking away takes strength. And here's the tough truth. The moment you allow someone to cross your boundaries and stay, you teach them they can do it again. So what now? You stay alert. You stay rooted in your sense of worth. You trust the instincts whispering what your eyes don't want to see. And most importantly, you don't chase someone who had to lose you just to find themselves. Why cheating hurts: the death of a dream. Let's take a step back for a moment. Why does cheating cut so deeply? It's not just the betrayal of trust, it's the quiet death of a dream. The slow unraveling of a future you once held with both hands. When we becomes me, and you're left standing in the ruins, wondering if any of it ever meant something real. But hear this clearly: it was real. Your effort, your loyalty, your belief in her, all of it was real. Even if her commitment slipped away quietly, what you gave came from a place of truth. Here's the truth most men miss. This isn't only about her. It's about you. It's about what you allowed in the name of love. About the signs you ignored while clinging to hope. About the nights you lay beside her and felt more alone than ever and somehow blamed yourself for that silence. But that ends now. Today, you rise. Today, you stop making excuses for someone else's decision to betray. Today, you reclaim your dignity, not by seeking revenge, but by choosing to honor yourself. Because you may not control whether someone cheats on you, but you always control who you become after it. Bonus tip: pay attention to how she repairs, not when things are good, but when they get hard. Every relationship faces storms. But what separates real love from temporary attachment is how she shows up when it rains. Does she lean in? or pull away? Does she speak or go silent? Does she fight for you or only with you? Real love isn't about perfection. It's about presence. A woman who truly values you won't disappear when things get uncomfortable. She won't retreat into passive silence or claim space when connection is needed most. She'll show up raw, imperfect, but real. But if she no longer tries to repair what's breaking between you, she's likely already rebuilding something else without you in the blueprint. And that's your signal. Not to chase, not to beg, but to stand tall and recognize the truth. When someone stops showing up for the repair, they've already emotionally moved out, even if they're still sleeping in the same bed. Now you've seen the patterns, you've felt the weight, and somewhere deep down, you already knew. This is the moment to stop living in the fog, to stop making excuses for her silence, and to stop waiting for someone who left without ever saying goodbye. You don't need her apology to move forward. You need your own clarity, your own strength. If this hit home for you, if you're done justifying neglect and calling it love, drop the word clarity in the comments. Let the world know you've woken up. And if you're tired of pretending, tired of being the only one showing up in a relationship built for two, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, not because you're chasing anyone, but because you're choosing yourself for the first time in a long time. Here, we don't chase people. We rebuild ourselves. We sharpen our minds. And we walk away with dignity, even when it hurts.